What's up, guys? Ninja on a ninja, and I have a video for you today. As you can see, as Mongol has Maga brain rot, and that's my destiny, of course, but I have an opinion, so go ahead.
This is what Trump is like, okay? Trump is a guy named Hibbler, and Hibbler comes out and he's like, we're gonna deal with these. Trump is a guy named Hibbler.
Okay.
And Hibbler comes out and he's like, we're gonna deal with these Jews, okay? We're gonna round them up, we're gonna deal with them. And after 5 years of death camps, Hibbler has killed like 2,000 Jews. Like, he's not even good at what he does. Like, imagine if the Holocaust was like 2 families. Like, that's like Trump's everything.
Okay, so first off, again, this seems to be with every post from Destiny that he makes. What's the context? What are you talking about? What's the point? Like, I don't understand why you're saying what you're saying, and what you're saying could mean anything, could lead to anything. Are you saying we're not punishing him enough? Are you saying we're punishing him too much? Are you saying that he hasn't done enough? Are you saying he's done too much? Like, literally, you can literally go any which way. So why is this a highlight? Why are you making it a big deal? And even though you have more info in the video, again, why the fuck would I want to watch it if you're saying something I don't want to hear, right? I'm just saying, like, as somebody, because apparently they don't like they don't like the truth, or else they'd be popping off. But, and so, what's his name? The hell's his name? Bernie Sanders, right? People don't like the truth because it's boring and it's not so flashy and takes a while and it's a slow burn, right? So people don't want it. But anyways, yeah, that's just proof that bias rules. So
probably one of the biggest modern problems that we have is that basically like people's performative empathy ends up creating problems for other people instead of the people that they're being empathetic towards. So they're basically trying to make.
So real quick, didn't stop it because I'm trying to do something right now. But he said performative empathy. What does that even mean? Like, I hope you define that, because as is, oh, okay, like, it's just a statement. Performative empathy, it's where you're feigning outrage. Of what kind? Good, bad, what?
Make themselves feel good by helping one group of people, but in the process of that, they're hurting another group of people instead. So I view it as like concentric circles. And so obviously it's good to have empathy for everyone, but you should prioritize people in your country first. And so whenever you make a decision, circles, a group of people instead. So I view it as like concentric circles. And so obviously it's good to have empathy for everyone, but you should prioritize people in your country first. And so whenever you make a decision based off of those
but you should help people in your country first. Why? It depends. Like, why am I gonna help you? Because what's it called? You need a place to put your money, right? Why should I help you when I can help you who needs a place to put your body? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to explain these things, fully flesh them out. That's what I'm saying. Your context is kind of like caca. So, anyways.
Concentric circles that we all know to be true. Like, you know, you'd be more likely to make a decision in the best interest of your parent. Like, you know, you'd be more likely to make a decision in the best interest of your parent more than maybe a friend, you know, you would hope, right? And
that, again, depends. Like, of course, a biased Nimrod is going to have bias there, of course. But and the law and the rule and justice, you have to understand, it's red, white, and blue. You can be red and you can be blue, but at the end of the day, I want you to see this. Oops, what the hell is that? Uh-huh. Okay, there you go. So anyways, you can be red, you can be blue, but at the end of the day, we're white. And what that means is drop red and blue and just be white. Red, white, and blue, right? You're the white. That's why you can say nigger, and there's no problem because we're the white here. There's no context. And if you want to say, oh, oppression, oh, segregation, all this or that, then you're clearly on the blue side. Go over there. Every time, oh, slavery and own the farms, and then you clear that side. Go over there. But we're talking about facts here. We need to have the discussion to have the discussion, to hash out the cards. We need to talk about where they go, right? So, it depends. If you're a biased idiot, yeah, you're going to be biased in red or blue. Pick a side. It doesn't matter what side you are, you're on a side. Those don't exist in the we're talking business here. This is the white, not the race. There's no such thing as the white race, basically, right? There's people, and then we split, but at the end of the day, we're all people. Doesn't matter what color. Anyways.
More in the interest of a friend than an acquaintance, and more in the interest of an acquaintance than a stranger. And so all of this exists in kind of a logic. There's like a logical structure of this that everybody acknowledges to be true on a personal level.
Not really. I don't acknowledge it.
But the moment that you extrapolate this to a group level, somehow we're supposed to pretend like it doesn't exist. I don't.
So you're saying when it comes to helping my mom or that person's mom, I'm to be. It's like what are you claiming here? That bias doesn't or bias exists there, and then you're trying to say that bias doesn't exist in group, but bias shouldn't be. Like, what's your claim here? I don't understand. And by the way, the reason I started this recording, and I realized I should go back to it. Basically, the reason why I started the recording was because he said that it hindered or hurt a party, some way or another. Like helping somebody hurts somebody else, basically. And I don't understand how giving you $100 hurts you or somebody else. Yeah, I'm not giving him $100, but that wouldn't happen unless I was giving him $100. So my kindness, yes, you could say is creating a disparity here, but anything above zero is good because then he could take that $100 and be like, hey, you know what? Here's $30, or here's $50, or here's $5, or here's $100 even. I don't need it. You take it. That's between you guys to solve and figure out at that point. We're just, and that's, anyways, we're just saying, but for the sake of the example, as far as like trickle down bullshit, obviously doesn't work. Obviously doesn't work. So there we need to dive into more, but you get the idea here. I'm trying to say, like, me helping somebody doesn't hurt you, basically. Right? They can do whatever the fuck they want at that point. And if you need help, like, let's say, there's a flood, and oh, I'm gonna get my shoes wet, or I'm gonna get the people are gonna die. If I choose to help the people with the shoes, clearly the government's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's where it trickles down to. Well, I'm gonna give the money to the people that need the shoes. Hopefully they'll help you guys. No, help them. The shoes guys don't get anything. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's a good way of looking at things. And I know that, like, for me, a lot of people that talk about this, like they try to worry about the optics. I don't mince my words about it at all. I think that if you come here and have a kid, I think the entire family should get deported, period. That's it.
Okay.
No exceptions. No, but what abouts? No, but it's bad over there. I literally don't care, even for, like, it's not even 1%. And it's not because I don't care about them.
He's doing a really, really, really interesting thing here. It's related to that one, like, fallacy, I guess you'd say, to where, like,
There's no fallacy. I've watched up to a little beyond this point. I don't know if exactly where I stopped. I know I didn't finish it, but I did watch to some, right? And then I tried to watch it again, and that's why I was like, "Fuck this." But the point is, I have watched it this little bit, and he's saying, "Oh, it's a fallacy." It's not a like. It has to go through the system before it's a fallacy. You can't just pull out of your back pocket and say it's a fallacy. It's something you put out of your pocket. You know what I'm saying? It may or may not be. We don't know. We have to look at it first and see what the fuck you're talking about. So, anyways,
Like
I put this up by the way because he does this a lot. Oh well, in debate, people don't know that's you seen, and it's what's it called? It's something that you observed, and that's just through your biased eye and through your biased opinion, and it's irrelevant on the bigger picture. But anyways,
a black guy walks into a place, you just scream the N-word at him. You're like, bro, what's going on? And you're like, well, unfortunately, sometimes in society, like, people can be racist for all sorts of really dumb reasons, and they think it's acceptable to, like, just like scream slurs at people. And it's like, yeah, I understand you're describing that. You're making it sound like an unfortunate byproduct of other things, but like you're doing it. So what? Why? I don't understand what I don't understand what just happened there. I don't understand what that explanation was to me, because it sounds like you're giving an explanation for how people can fall into this fallible thing, but then you're like actively doing it. He just gave this whole explanation, which I agree with 100%, by the way. Naturally, we do extend empathy to people that are closer to us.
no, we don't. You might, but not all of us. Like, or I should say, I don't. All of us might, but I don't. As probably where it comes down to. I think of myself as everyday, but I'm an everyday person. But it turns out I'm actually quite gifted, and I'm actually quite able. So I don't know. I don't know.
In a variety of ways, like both, like physically, familially, ontologically. We're more likely to feel sympathy for people, who are probably a similar race, a similar set of values, similar language, similar country.
Some stupid people have bias. Yes, that's true.
Geographically, people in our states, neighborhoods, right? This is true.
And that bias, by the way, is a not like race, for example. That's a concept. People believe it's a thing because it's been perpetrated for so long by racists that people actually think it's a thing when it's actually not a thing. Yes, they are black people, but so are we. You see what I'm saying? We're technically black people, but the only difference really is the pigment of their skin is black, and the ears are different, and the nose is different. You know, they have different, the bigger feet or something. But we're still the same. We're people. Anyways.
But I think that's like 70-30. I think it's like probably not good, and then 30% is actually like understandable and probably noble. Like, I would expect an ordinary person, given the opportunity to save one child or another child, I would expect them to always save their child, right? Just full stop, period.
Yeah, it's called bias. You have a bias for your kid. But if that kid had the cure for cancer, then only an idiot would choose their kid, because it's my kid. So even if the kid that will save the universe is gonna die, that's my kid. I don't care. That's an idiot. You see what I'm saying?
Period. But like, given the opportunity to save their child or 3 other children, the morally good thing would probably be maybe to save the 3 other.
Not morally. It depends. That's why I always say scientifically it depends. That's why I gave the example. In that situation, no. That wouldn't be the case. It's not morally. It's not. You're stupid. And again, that's probably why you get propelled forwards, because you're dumb and they like it.
Children, but I would understand them saving their child, right? But it's like an understandable
Bias.
fault or something. I don't know
Bias.
how to call it a fault. I don't know how you describe that.
Bias.
The husband goat lays out this whole set of circles of how we care about people. We extend empathy more to people that are close to us. Descriptively, this is true.
It's called bias.
But then he walks out this huge prescriptive statement of, that's why if anybody comes here and has a single child, deport the entire goddamn family. It's like, whoa, hold on. You're describing this not like it's a descriptive reality, but like this is like the morally righteous way to function in society. That's a little bit up.
Again, he too is like you. He's basically paid to lead you off a cliff or to lead you astray so that you're wrong. And like the army that you're leading is marching and you're lining up with the KKK movement, and that's why they promote you, because they need soldiers. So we'll get them from this promoter or this content maker, and your beliefs are stupid and misguided, so we'll just take him. It's fine, it's whatever. They can fight for it, but you're stupid. And this is why they don't like me, and they don't want me to pop off like Bernie Sanders, because we make sense. And people sit down and have coffee instead of have war, instead of trying to make more gang fights. I'm getting red and blue people to unite and be friends. You know what I'm saying?
Right? It's like saying it would be the equivalent of saying it's very easy for us to empathize with people around us. It's very easy for us not to think or consider the well-being in people who are far from us. This is what makes slave labor such an easy thing to tolerate when it's in other countries, because the slave
because you don't have the bias. But when it's in your backyard, you have the bias, and now suddenly slavery is wrong. That's what happened in the first Donald Trump election, when they're like, I love Trump, I respect everything, and then he's like, I'm taking half your land, and they're like, fuck Trump, I hate Trump, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't them. But when it became them, they were like, oh shit, that's why I pushed the video at the very end of the day called Don't Be a Sucker, because that's exactly what they talk about. That shit, so watch that video.
Slavery's not right around us. And that's why I make sure that whenever I buy stuff made by slave labor, it's always from a country that I'll never visit. And that way I never have to look at them. So I can just buy all the slave-produced goods possible, but I don't have to actually look at them ever. So it's okay. It's like, wait. It sounded like you were describing that as like a kind of like a bad thing, like a bad human moral intuition or something. But now it sounds like you're actually saying it's like you're telling people that it's a way to live. The way he just described all this and then gave that prescriptive statement at the end there was like wild.
That's called, basically, I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand it enough to really, like, this is the whole premise between false alphas, is you have a message that you're portraying. You're holding a flag for something you don't know for sure what it means. And then when you start getting shot at and you don't know why, you look around, you realize, oh, I led my crew to join with the KKK. Oh shit, I didn't fucking realize. That's the point.
Entire family should get deported, period. That's it. No exceptions, no but what abouts, no but it's bad over there. I literally don't care, even for, like, it's not even 1%. And it's not because I don't care about them.
Yeah, it is.
It's that I care about the people here more.
Again, me giving somebody $50 doesn't hurt you, right? Me helping a starving community by giving them food and taking care of them doesn't hurt my efforts helping you. Basically, you're thinking like the rich. Basically, you don't seem to understand that if we took half of the money that we give to the rich for their yachts and excess spending, we could pay for everything. But what you're saying is, well, fuck everybody else. The rich can keep the money, but so are we, and fuck everybody else. And that's kind of what you're doing. And that's why you're number one, basically, because they, again, want your army, basically, you dumbass.
And I want to do what's in their best interest. And when I allow people to exploit my systems
like one of the problems too with Asmongold and the way that he's thinking here, because I don't even, it's hard, it truly is hard to know how much of it is like audience capture versus whatever other million things could be going on.
I don't know what the hell. Like I understand what audience captures. I get that, but I don't understand how that directly relates to this.
But like Asmongold's thought process here, we would say is valid, but maybe not sound, right? Assuming the premises of his argument are true here. I mean, his
Which they're not.
conclusion is correct. If it
No, they're not.
was the case that people were coming to the country, stealing from us, making the whole place worse off.
Right, but out of 10 people, 9 of them are working in the fields and cleaning your shit off the wall. And only one out of like 99 out of 100, or like one, or not 99, 1 out of 99, or 1 out of 100, or 1 out of 1,000, or 1 out of 10,000, or 1 out of whatever number. Like, you have to understand that we're getting a lot better. It's a lot better for us to do what we're doing than it is negative. And only recently has this problem really been a problem. The reason why it's the greed in Washington has increased to the point that they want more, and the only way that they can pay for more is if they take from us, and they're blaming them, basically. And all this is, and again, this is why Asmongold is part of it, because he's creating an avenue where it makes sense, and that's tolerable, and that makes sense, and we agree with the MAGA movement, so here going along, and there's a sense of belief that ties with it, I guess you can say. And the Destiny is the same thing. There's a sense of belief where, okay, maybe it makes sense and MAGA is right in some sense, but in reality, no. And Bernie Sanders gets it. I see that. That's why we don't get any traffic, but you do.
Destroying our labor markets, making everything, destroying the culture and everything. Then I can actually, I mean, the conclusion kind of logically follows. Yeah, you should just deport literally all.
If that was the case, where like 1 out of every 3 people was bad, but it's not. It's like 1 out of, like, I literally just went to the doctor, and on my way I see like 100 people working in the fields. Like, already that's a plus. You know what I'm saying?
All of them, of course. So like the theory is correct, but the factual foundation of a lot of the things are just not right, which is, I think, one of the more frustrating things sometimes. But then the issue is when you push them on the facts, they seem unwilling or unable to engage, which makes
Right. It's because they want the army. They don't want the discussion. They want the army. Unless the discussion helps them get the army, they want the discussion.
you think, well, hold on, maybe there's more at work here than what you're saying.
And you having the debate is just them having the facts that they need, the talking points that they need, so they can go and take it and highlight it toward, like, the right brings up gays and the LGBTQ, and the Democrats or the Blues defend it, and the rights go back to their sheep and like, look at watch the Democrats bring it up for no reason at all. But in reality, the Democrats are actually just trying to stop the red from infringing the rights, but the Blues making it seem like they brought it up. Or the rights make it seem like the Blues brought it up, but they brought it up because of the right. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know.
And you idiots are playing right into it, so.
Exploit my country to take advantage of it at the expense of other people. What I'm effectively doing is I am weaponizing my
Are you going to the LGBT book ban SCOTUS decision?
I'm going to skip to, let's see. Oh, it's still okay, right there. Boop.
People probably. There's a categorical difference between statements of fact and and opinions. I don't need philosophy to know that. Because I was like, well, Politico here is reporting these facts, the news about, 17 Ukrainians died. And the guy's like, oh, well, let's say Politico published an article saying Trump was the best president. Would you believe that? And it's like, well, that's an opinion piece. And it's like, well, isn't it their opinion that 17 people died? And it's like, I mean, strictly speaking, I guess, yeah, but it's not really the same thing. We're not really talking.
How is that an opinion? I fail to see how that's an opinion. At all. They're reporting the facts. 17 people died. That's not an opinion. Unless they said 17 horrible people tragically died on a horrendous occasion, like Fox News does, for example, then yeah, that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting context. Like the word nigger. Like, you're adding context where there is none. That's why Fox News is bad. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Talking about this. I don't even know how to respond to this. Wait, well, if it was the case that Donald Trump did these things, don't you think that would be bad? And then see what they say there. Yeah. I love asking your source. What's your source base? Yeah. Oh, Asron, you're actually correct. That's an evaluation of. It's a different kind of statement. Yeah. Oh, Asron, you're actually correct. That's what I should be saying. When I present something and they haven't heard of it, I should just say, oh, okay, well, let's say this was true. Now that I'm telling you this, if it was the case that Donald Trump did these things, don't you think that would be bad? And then see what they say there. Yeah. I love asking your source. What's your source? My intuition.
Oh, who do you rely on for reporting about Ukraine and Russia? Who do you rely on for your reporting for that?
I just rely on my intuition, basically.
So nothing. Your feelings.
I
You
mean,
just earlier said that feelings are bad. Intuition is your feelings, right? So you rely on your feelings for it?
Yeah, but yeah, it sounds like you're laughing, but this is truly how a lot of these people function. It's how my mom functions. Whenever we would debate, and even now, like she'll circle back to like, Stevie, I know what I saw. I know what I saw. I know what I saw. And what they saw was 24/7 wall-to-wall coverage of right-wing propaganda, and that is what they say. And it truly is their reality. Right? This is why I say, to have a little bit of empathy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That these debates that you're having, you need to be careful because they're the ones bringing it up, but they're painting it like you did. And the problem is they're showing only the painted version to their people, not the full actual story. And so you having this discussion is just adding fuel to the fire because you're dimwit. Anyways, be well, be happy, be safe, take care, God bless, be strong, and more to come because, good Lord, this world needs it. Be well, I'm out, peace.